Player interactivity. Right, so at the moment, our player just moves left and right and he can jump. Now, on games like Sonic and on games like Super Mario Brothers, if you press up or if you press down, you can get your player to crouch, you can make it look up in the sky. So this video is kind of just showing how to do those things. So what we're going to do first of all is open up our player movement script because that's what's connected to our player. And a lot of our kind of controls are on here anyway. And in fact, you don't really need any of all this stuff to be able to do what I'm about to show you, but I'm just adding it to the code which I've used in all the previous videos to this one. So first things first, I need to bring in these three lines, and I'm going to paste them up in where all the variables are. And public sprite actually refers to a graphic then, an image. So back on Unity, if I go to my assets, I've brought in two images. I've got my chicken, which is crouching. I've got my chicken, which is looking up. And obviously I've got these other chickens as well. I haven't done the animations yet, but I do use chicken too, as you can see there. And the idea is then, on our code, we're referring to the player which is crouched, we're referring to the player which is looking up, and we're also referring to the player in its original format as well. So in addition to those lines of code, I'm also going to need to bring in all these if statements here, but I'm only going to bring in one at this stage, just to kind of show you what happens when I do bring it across. So underneath, within our update area, I'm just going to check that, and this is where we turn left, move right, and so on, and we can jump. I'm just going to put in that if statement, and this if statement basically says, when I press down the down arrow, which is the cursor key, it will change the image of the player to the crouched player. And if I just save that and head back onto Unity, the plan is that it will actually turn into this player here, Chicken 4. But before it actually works, we just need to kind of do a bit of dragging and dropping. So once this is saved and it's finished doing its holding on thing, I'll click on my player, and on player movement, you'll see that I've got these sprites then. So my crouched player, I'm going to drag across, and I'm actually going to drag these across now as well. So my up player is the one which is looking up, and then my normal player or my original player will be that one there. So if I play this, and remember I've only brought across some of the code at this stage, I've done the if statement where if I press the down arrow, I'll crouch. And that's what I'm going to do pretty much straight away. So I'm going to press down, I crouch, but I've let go of down, but I'm stuck in that position. So I can move left and right, I can jump, but I'm kind of stuck like that. So the idea is when I press down, I want it to crouch, but when I let go of down, I want it to go back into its normal position. And that's where these other if statements come in. So back on our document, the next if statement I'm going to bring in is going to be this one, which I'm just going to paste directly under the one we just did. But this time you'll notice the difference between these codes are if the first one is GetKeyDown, so when I press the down button I go into this crouch position, which we just saw happen. But when I actually release the down arrow, so if GetKeyUp, so up refers to when the button actually gets released, then it's going to take me back to being the normal player. So I'll save that and come back onto Unity, and I've already dragged across Chicken 2 to normal player. But what this should do then, when I play, and it stops doing the messing about it always does. Whenever I do a video, it takes forever, but if I'm not doing a video, it takes like a matter of seconds. Right, so let's play that then. So like before, I'll press down, and I should crouch, but then I'll hold down, and then I'll let you know when I let it go. Or in fact, you'll be able to see on screen what happens when it gets to that stage. See, I'm trying to fill in the gaps here. Oh, do I pause? We're on 17, 18. I know. Oh, as soon as I head towards it, look. Right, so I'm holding down that. I pressed down. I haven't let it go yet, but the second I let it go, I go back to my normal position. So I do this little crouching effect, which is kind of cool. And the only other thing I want to bring across then is these other two lines of code, or sections of code, I should say. So this if statement then, or these if statements, I should say, I'm going to copy across and paste under these guys. And these this time will make it go to the up player. So when I press down the up arrow, I'll get changed to the up player, which is the chicken looking up. And when I let go of that on key up, it will go back to normal player as well. So let's save that. Let's head back across. And like I said, I've already done all the dragging across to bring it across onto here. And I'm going to pause this time. Welcome back. If I press play then, and this time I'm going to do the down arrow button again, just because I like the little crouching effect it did. And then I'll also test the up arrow button as well to see if I look up. So I crouch, brilliant. And if I press up, I look up and I let go, it makes me look down or look back in my original position. So you've got a little bit of kind of interactivity with it. And I kind of like that.